Oh, very nice.
Don David 1.
Yes.
Don David 2.
2.
Oh, I was working very hard on trying to get through daggers and weapons.
You ready?
Was that 3?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just hand.
Hand, okay.
Yes.
No,
good.
no, flat.
Okay. Yes, good.
Don David 3.
That's 3. Flat or okay. Yes, good.
Don David 4.
Yes, good.
Don David 6. No, Don David 5, excuse me.
Count?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, good.
Don David 6. 6 0.
Good.
Don David 7.
Yes.
Don David 8.
That wasn't 2 just now. That was one arm and then the other. I don't know how you were counting.
Yes, good.
Don David 8.
Gotta figure out how to get around that.
I may have lost count, but 8.
Yes.
Don David 9.
Maybe that does not work. Yes.
Don David 10. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, now I'm camera shy.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm not
Wanna wear my mask?
I'm not filming you. How's that?
Okay. Well, so tell me what you were thinking about while
I
we
was
were
trying to
fighting.
keep your lefty, so I know you're gonna probably attack on the outside line.
Okay.
I was trying to keep that closed. Do a bad job of protecting this.
Yeah.
So I would try to get you to move long enough so that I could hit your head. But you're too fast for that because you just go, oh, you're making me move, thank you.
So for me as a lefty, my inside line is my strongest. And so basically any attacks that come in here, if they're committed, a parry and riposte or counterattack or some variant
Right.
that's that's the line for me. And so that's the same reason why I want to hit on your outside line, because my closure is on the inside. So a couple times I would hit and then break here, because that's my strong line.
Okay, so
Does
one more
that make
time.
sense? So you pick your sword up. So if you take an engagement on your outside line like this, and you want to hit me.
Oh my god, I was doing this, wasn't I? Anyway, sorry.
Oh, and you want to hit me, and my arm is all the way out here.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, if I stiff my arm out here, you're gonna have a hard time hitting me, right? So you can either go all the way up to my head, or if I go way high, you can drop low. But if I'm on the opposite line and you take that engagement on your inside, and if I push here, you can go through that, right? So this is a stronger line for you against the lefty. If we're righties, it's the opposite way, right? So if you engage on this side and you push in here, and I stiffen my arm, I can force you up.
Right.
But on the outside, if you push, you can hit through this, right? And so for me, what I want is I want everything. So I always set up at here, because basically when I go for your inside line, this is where I'm hitting, and anything that you come in towards me on this side, this is my strong line. So that's the big thing that I'm looking for.
I think Wishart was telling me something like that yesterday. I told him, oh, it's really German, almost. Like, yeah.
If you're up for thoughts on engagement, so I may do things a little bit differently than these two. But if you put your blade out and I take an engagement, I'm going to take my engagement. Now, what's different from here about how you would do an engagement?
You have a strong knee along the line.
Yeah, so my tip is actually pointed just past your shoulder, and my wrist is straight. So if you want to attack on my inside line, it's not going to happen. Now, if I angle my wrist, not even that. So turn your hand palm out. If you push against that, you're going to slide into my strong, and you can hit there. So it's called a forced glide.
All right.
And so you see that against like a weak engagement. So if you come on guard and you're on the outside, you're kind of out here. Yeah, you're kind of out here. That's my shot. So you're not as protected on your outside line as you might think you are there.
I need to be extended more.
What I would say is bend your elbow, straighten your wrist. Be out here. Lower this. This is at about a 45-degree angle. Your tip is going to be out past my shoulder. Against a lefty, I tend to make this a little bit more extreme than I would against a righty, because a lefty can reach around and do this, which is a lot harder over here. So when I do this, I would come on guard out here. And so now anywhere you're going to go, it's got to be my inside line.
And you pretty much dominated my blade unless I managed to do that.
Yeah,
But even then, you're going to do that shot.
There's my setup, right?
Yep.
And so what I was doing is I was a little bit hesitant about just making the straight attack on your outside line, so I was adding a beat to a lot of this. Part of that, I think your demeanor was a little bit nervous, and so that beat kind of throws off your tempo. So when you were on guard, and you're angled about in here, basically I was just looking for that.
Right. And you did one where I went all the way back here.
Yeah, so that was actually a little bit of a different one. That's called an expulsion. And I did it, so that's sliding along your blade.
Right.
Which is a different
like a puck's out.
Huh?
Like a puck's out, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah.
I tried, never mind.
Actually, you got a really neat, can I show you something? Actually, this will work well for you. So, if I slide this is called an expulsion, or in Italian like a sforzo. If you put your blade out here, the other one is that.
Oh my god.
And you've got a nice light blade for it, which would be a lot of fun.
So instead of going like that, I would go.
So if you put your blade out, I'll show you. So this works when somebody basically they've got a stiff, kind of their arm is tense and their blade is kind of fairly well extended. The expulsion you can kind of set up either from blade contact like that, or you can take it from out of blade contact and go into it, which is closer to what I was doing. But if you put your blade out, so I'm going to go on my outside line. I've got my tip out here. I'm going to rotate my hand palm up, So you leave your tip where it is. I'm going to rotate my palm up, I'm going to slide it in there.
Where did she get hers at?
I'm going to end right about there. So my tip is going to go just under your guard.
Now, is that something the masters did, or is that just something cool that
It is a later period classical technique.
worked?
That is very common in Italian, later Italian dancing. So go on your outside line. So other yeah, you're going to engage me on the outside, strong against me. There you go, bend your elbow, straighten your wrist. There you go. Now you're going to take your tip under mine, fling it to the inside, but rotate your hand forward. That's the idea.
Oh my god.
When you have a lighter weapon, you can get a lot of force.
Dude, that's awesome.
This kind of
Light bulb is on. Light bulb is off.
Anything, just real quick, that I need to work on more? Was my measure okay? Was my counter guard okay?
Well, your counter guard is what I was talking about.
Right.
You're not really closing You're not really closing the line. I think the way that you think you are.
Okay.
So that's me. I keep that line straight. You have a lighter weapon, and sometimes if somebody pushes on it, you've got enough. You may have enough maneuverability to disengage around it. But I like to err. Okay, it's the rapier form, right? Yeah.
Darkly.
Okay. I like to err on the side of really making sure that line is close.